Hidden deep within the heart of the Amazon rainforest lies a forgotten city. A place that was built with the hope of transforming an entire industry, but ultimately it became a symbol of failure and unrealized dreams. This is the story of Fordlandia, the city that never was. To understand Fordlandia, we need to go back to the 1920s, when one of America's biggest industrialists, Henry Ford, had an idea that would change the course of history, or so he thought. Ford was at the helm of the Ford Motor Company, which was revolutionizing the car industry with mass production. But there was a problem. The main ingredient for rubber, which was essential for car tires, was being sourced from Southeast Asia. The supply was unstable, and the prices were rising. Ford wanted to solve this problem once and for all. In 1928, Henry Ford decided to create his own rubber plantation in the Brazilian Amazon. A city to support his vision, Fordlandia. The plan was simple: build a self-sufficient city with workers who would harvest rubber trees to meet Ford's needs. The idea was bold, and Ford believed he could create the perfect company town. But things, as we'll soon find out, didn't go according to plan. Ford bought 2.5 million acres of land in Brazil, an area the size of a small country. He envisioned a modern city, complete with hospitals, schools, and even baseball fields. He imported engineers, architects, and workers from the United States. The city was to be a utopia of American values and productivity. But from the very beginning, problems began to arise. The first issue? The land itself. The soil was not as fertile as Ford had hoped, and the rubber trees struggled to thrive in the Amazon's harsh conditions. The weather, the insects, and the disease-carrying mosquitoes proved to be much more than anyone had anticipated. But the problems weren't just environmental. There was a major cultural clash between the American managers and the Brazilian workers. Ford's idea of running a factory town with strict American rules, including a ban on alcohol and gambling, didn't sit well with the local workers, who had their own ways of life. Ford's attempts to impose American values, like strict working hours and a no-nonsense approach, were met with resistance. The workers, many of whom were from nearby villages, had no experience with large-scale industrial work. The labor force was unskilled, and Ford's insistence on controlling every aspect of life led to mounting frustrations. As time went on, the situation only worsened. The rubber trees failed to produce at the scale Ford had envisioned, and his workers were becoming more disillusioned. In 1930, a workers' strike erupted, and the violence that followed led to chaos in the city. The American managers who had been sent to oversee the project were ill-prepared for the complexity of Brazilian life, and tensions boiled over. Despite the mounting problems, Ford refused to give up. He sent a new team, tried new strategies, and even tried to adjust his approach to the local culture. But by 1945, Ford had to face the inevitable. Fordlandia was a complete failure. The rubber production was nowhere near what was needed, and the dream of a self-sustaining company town was shattered. Today, Fordlandia is a ghost town. The buildings that were once part of Ford's ambitious dream now stand in ruins, overtaken by the relentless Amazon jungle. The city that was meant to change the world for Henry Ford ended up as a cautionary tale of ambition, cultural misunderstanding, and the challenges of transforming a dream into reality. But what remains of Fordlandia isn't just a sad reminder of failure, it's a testament to human ambition, vision, and the cost of underestimating the complexities of both nature and culture. Though the rubber plantations never reached their full potential, Fordlandia will forever be etched into history as a symbol of both the extraordinary and the flawed. So, what went wrong in Fordlandia? Was it the environment, the culture, or just a misguided dream? Whatever the reason, Ford's vision of a thriving city in the heart of the Amazon never came to be, and Fordlandia remains a strange and fascinating chapter in both American and Brazilian history. Thanks for watching this episode of Record Rift. If you found this story intriguing, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into history's forgotten tales. Until next time, stay curious.